everyone, welcome back to Homemade by Jenny. Today I'll be showing you our chicken rice recipe that I make at home. These are the ingredients we'll be using. I got here 3 cups of jasmine rice. I got here a free-range chicken. I got some cucumber as a side vegetable to eat later. I got onion, garlic, shallots, and a piece of ginger. It's to make the sauce and also to put in the broth to cook the chicken. Because I'm also filming myself today, I don't have an extra hand to help, so I'm just showing you the ingredients now, and then I will go over and just prepare it, and I'll show you what I will need to do. I guess I'll try to film after I finish preparing all the ingredients, and then I'll show you. So I'll just show you. Okay, I'll show everyone what I just did here. I just cleaned up my chicken, put it into a plate, and now I'm gonna prepare the chicken and put it into the broth to cook. And here I also peel all my vegetables. I got my green onions here, the garlic, the white onion, the shallot, the ginger. This peel piece is gonna be for the sauce. This is gonna go into the broth. So let's get started. I'm gonna put everything in the pot now. So the onion is going into the pot. This unpeeled ginger piece is also going into the pot. And then I'm just gonna add water to this pot. Turn on the stove. I'm just gonna get enough water here. After that, I'm gonna add the chicken to this. Got my chicken here. That should be about enough water here. So I'm just gonna add my chicken too. I just have a piece of ginger there, an onion, and now I'm just gonna add my chicken that I cleaned earlier. This is just going into the pot. I cleaned everything up, so I'm just gonna put it all in. And I'm also gonna add in a couple spoons here, probably 2 teaspoons of salt. That should be good. Bring this to a boil, and then I'm gonna skim all the juice. Might not be enough water, so I'm just gonna add a little more water here. That should be okay. Don't necessarily need it covered. I can flip the chicken later. So the chicken now is in the pot. I'm just gonna bring it up to a boil, and then I'll show everyone as it comes up to a boil. I'll skim the top, and then we'll move on to the next step. Meanwhile, the chicken is boiling or cooking away. I'm gonna go and rinse my rice here. I'm just gonna rinse the rice and then leave it aside because I will need to stir fry the rice with the garlic and the ginger before I add in the chicken broth to actually cook it and turn it into chicken rice. So I'm just right now rinsing the rice, and then I'm gonna set it aside before I stir fry it. Then I will add it to the pot to cook. I usually do about 3 or 4 rinses. As long as the water becomes a bit clear, then it's pretty much clean and good to go. Drain as much water off as could. For much easier for draining, I'm just gonna pour the whole thing into a colander here and just let the rice drain. I've got my rice just sitting here in the strainer to drain, and then I just have my rice pot sitting here waiting. Once I finish stir frying the rice with the ginger garlic, then I'll be able to. The chicken is cooking and the rice is prepped. I'm just gonna move on to these next ingredients, and I'm gonna slice up the green onion as well as dice up the shallots here and grate some of the ginger to put in one of the bowls to make a sauce. So I'm just gonna start doing it, and then once I'm done, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, you can see that the chicken has come to a boil. I'm just gonna open the lid now and I'm gonna flip the chicken. Also, I'm going to skim the foam that you see around that brown foam there. I'm gonna skim that as well. So first, I'm just gonna turn over my chicken really quickly here. And I have a skimmer here with a bowl of water, just any water, cold water or hot water is fine. Just gonna skim off this foam here. This will help to also keep the broth nice and clean, and you can also reuse the broth for something else like making noodle soup. That's good as well. We always have broth here. I'm just gonna skim this and then let the chicken cook further. So right now, as you can see, all these foam here on the side, just cleaning it off by skimming it with my little skimmer here. Okay, and I guess just continue to do it until it's all nice and clean. Okay, this is good. So I'm just gonna put the lid back on and just let it sit for a boil. I would say give it a few more minutes to come to a boil. Then I'm just gonna turn it off and let it sit in there for about 15 to 20 minutes to cook fully. So at this stage, it's just boiling away. Now you see more of the foam. I'm just gonna open it up again and skim all the foam away so that my broth stays nice and clean and clear. Like I said, I can use the broth for something else, save it for another day if you want. Or using this broth actually to make the rice. So I'll show you how it's gonna be done. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna turn this off. Let it boil another minute or two. And then I'm just gonna turn off the stove and let it cook for the remaining 10-15 minutes. Okay, so now I'm just gonna turn off the stove and let this sit for about 15-20 minutes. Okay, so this is what I did. In here I got the garlic and ginger, which I just blended up quickly. This is gonna use to stir fry the rice to make the chicken rice. And then this in here, I have the sliced up green onion, the small diced shallots, and some grated ginger. This is for making the ginger sauce. All I'm gonna do for this one is I'm actually just gonna add a tad of salt in here, and then I'm gonna bring some oil up to a boil and then pour it over. I'll show you. Okay, I'm just gonna pour in some oil in here, and this oil is just gonna be brought up to kind of a boiling point temperature so that it can help cook the onions and ginger and the other pot. So I just got that oil in there. While this is boiling and cooking or coming up to temperature, all I'm gonna do is go over here, add in probably I would say about 1/3 a teaspoon of salt. Maybe a tad more. I don't think we need too much there. Okay, that's it. I'm also gonna add a small, maybe a quarter or half a baby spoon of this, of sugar. Okay, and this is just gonna be left aside, and then bringing the oil here up to a boil. I'm gonna pour the oil into there. Okay, now that the oil is pretty much has come up to temperature, I'm gonna use it now and pour it over the shallots here. There we go. That should help cook it. I'm just gonna put this pot back and use to fry the rice. So at this point, all you do is you mix up the mixture. The hot oil should cook the onion and ginger and shallot, and then you just leave this aside to use later with the chicken. So this is the ginger, onion, and shallot sauce that I made for our chicken, and this is gonna be to be eaten on the side there. Okay, now I'm just gonna add the oil in here, a little bit of oil in here, and then add the ginger here. And garlic. And stir fry this up. Okay, so I just poured in the ginger and garlic here from the grinder. And blender. Sauteing it. And then I'm going to add now the rice. Just going to go in. In to mix in with the flavoring here. Just a little bit until the smell is kind of fragrant. You can actually smell the ginger and the garlic at this point. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to ladle in a little bit of the chicken broth in the pot here. So I'm just taking the broth from the pot and I'm ladling it in. Okay. I'm going to do just one more ladle and then I'm going to pour this into my little rice cooker and then add enough water to cook the rice. So there you go. And we're basically using the chicken broth to cook. So this is pretty much good at this point. And all I'm going to do is bring up the stove here, bring it over and add this to the rice pot. Rice cooker here. Just gonna add this. There we go. And because I have 3 cups of rice, I have 3 cups of rice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add enough water to make 3 cups of rice. And then we actually use the chicken broth that we have. So just in here, I'm just gonna ladle in enough broth here. Try to make sure I get some of the chicken fat. This will add color to the rice as well. There we go. Okay, so that looks about 3 cups. So I'm gonna add this basically to a rice cooker now and cook it. Just on there and start. That's it. That will be our chicken rice. Once it's cooked, we'll take the chicken out and shred it and then put it on top to eat. Now I'm just gonna rinse and then slice up some cucumber to eat on the side with the chicken rice. Just gonna put it here. Oh, here. Just gonna use it to wipe dry and then slice. Now my chicken is done. I've just taken it out of the pot there. The sauce is almost done, or the sauce is already done. It's just sitting on the side. Now I'm actually just waiting for the rice to finish cooking, and then I'm gonna debone the chicken and slice it up and put it on a bowl. I will show everyone what the dish will look like at the end. Rice just finished cooking, so now I'm just gonna open up the rice and then I'm gonna stir this up. You can see the rice just finished cooking. Nice. Ooh, smells very nice as well. Can't wait to eat this. Okay, now I'm just gonna take the chicken apart and debone it. Let's move that skin, hairs. I like eating the wings, so I'll save that aside right now. Ooh, it's still really hot. It just came out of the pot, so it's actually quite hot. Take the leg out here for the kids. There we go. Just gonna debone this. Here. There we go. I'm just gonna scoop some rice first. Okay, I got my bowl of chicken rice here. Just gonna fry it out a little bit here. And then I'm just gonna put it on top of the bowl, the plate. I'm gonna turn my chicken. Whole chicken is just gonna go on top of the rice like so. I got a dish of the sauce, and I got some sliced cucumbers here on the side. And there's your chicken rice. It's in there.